Hello everybody, my name is Bill Seaver and today I'm going to be doing a video talking about how each Muppet works. Now if you know me in real life, I'm a big fan of puppets. I'm a big fan of Jim Henson, the Muppets, Sesame Street. Those were pretty big parts of my childhood, and I got introduced to puppetry when I was I got really into puppetry, I guess I should say, when I was about 10 years old. I don't know if you guys did this, but when I was in elementary school, we had these wax museum projects when we were in 5th grade, and I ended up doing Thomas Edison for mine, but the grade above me, when they were in 5th grade, my cousin, he did Abe Lincoln, but then a friend of his ended up doing Jim Henson, and ever since then I got hooked into puppets, and I've been interested, and it's just really interesting. So we're going to talk about how each Muppet works. So there are 3 different kinds of puppets that are used on the Muppets: Sesame Street, Fraggle Rock, anything with Jim Henson, any of the Jim Henson shows. There are those 3 kinds of puppets, and we're going to be talking about how each of them work. Before we do, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new here, comment down below. Should we continue making Muppet videos? I plan on making a series called Muppet Vaults, where we talk about different Muppet characters. I think that'd be pretty cool. With that said, let's hop into the video. Also, don't forget, tonight is an audio tape on Let's Talk Sports. Mario Forsyth Trojans girls team will be playing the Auburn Trojans, a battle of the Trojans tonight. It'll be pretty interesting. Alright, so let's talk about the first one up here is how puppets you wear. So that's the first kind of puppet. So examples of these are Snuffy and Big Bird from Sesame Street, for example, and then there are a bunch of then there's the Gorgs from Fraggle Rock. I know some of you guys may not. I'm pretty sure a majority of my audience doesn't even know what Fraggle Rock is. If you don't know what it is, it was a TV show from the 80s. It was really popular. But anyway, so let's talk about how puppets you wear. So Big Bird, we're going to use him for an example. So Carol Spinney or Matt Vogel, who are the 2 performers for Big Bird, or Carol Spinney, who's a longtime performer for Big Bird, he would wear these orange pants that were Big Bird's legs, and then he'd have the feet as well. So then the Big Bird body, it's like 3,000, I think, yellow turkey feathers. I think these are turkey feathers. That is Big Bird. And then so Big Bird's wing, this wing right here, he would be Carol Spinney or whoever would be performing Big Bird. Like if I was performing Big Bird, I would be controlling this hand here, and then somebody left-handed, I think, would control the other hand. So Big Bird's kind of like a live hand puppet. We'll get into those in a minute. So then I would perform this hand, and then my other hand, so this hand would be here, and then the other hand would be controlling Big Bird's mouth. And then so I'd have a pinky. My pinky would control the eyelids up here, and then the rest of my hand would just control Big Bird's beak, and just talk like Big Bird. That's basically how puppets you wear work. So that's how Big Bird works. I know Snuffy. I think there's 2 people that control Snuffy actually, so that's pretty interesting. There's a guy in the front and then the guy in the back. So yeah, this is an example of Muppets that you wear. Now let's talk about live hand Muppets. So these are actually my personal favorite live hand Muppets. For examples of these are Fozzie Bear, Cookie Monster, and Ernie. These are all live hand Muppets. And then the Telly Monster as well. He's a live hand Muppet. And I'm trying to think who else are good examples of live hand Muppets. I think Sam the Eagle from the Muppets. He's also from the Muppet Show. He too is a live hand Muppet. So let's talk about how they work. Okay, so live hand Muppets. Cookie Monster, for example, he's able, and as you can see, what Cookie Monster is holding a cookie, and Ernie holding his rubber ducky. These kind of Muppets are able to grab things, as you can see. Like I said before, Cookie Monster holding his what looks like a letter of the day cookie there, and then Ernie having his rubber ducky, and then I don't know what Fozzie's holding. Fozzie's picture's not real, or his hand's not really in the picture very well. I tried finding a good picture of Fozzie, but this was the best I could do. Anyway, so these puppets, you're able to grab things. So somebody left-handed, again, they would control this hand here, where Ernie's hand here, the left one, or Ernie's right, your left, and then I would control, you know, Ernie's, or my right, Ernie's left hand, and then and then the main performer would control Ernie, and then this hand here, and then somebody else would control the other arm, and then that's how it works for Ernie, and then Cookie Monster as well, and of course Fozzie Bear. So those are examples of live hand Muppets. These are actually, again, very interesting Muppets because they're able. Of course, that's why Cookie Monster. That's why he has such a big appetite. He's able to grab his cookies and eat them. I wonder if there's a slot in Cookie Monster's mouth that, like, whenever he's eating a cookie, I wonder if I think there's a slot in his mouth. From what I've heard, there's a slot in his mouth from where he eats the cookies, or so that way he's able to like swallow them or something. I don't really know. Let me know what you guys think about Cookie Monster, how he's able to eat those cookies. But yeah, that's how he's able to grab those cookies, for sure. And this is how live hand Muppets work. You basically they're able to grab things. You'll control if you're the main performer, you'll be controlling Ernie's mouth, and then this hand here, and then somebody else left-handed would probably do this hand. Alright, now let's talk about probably the most simple kind of puppets to work, and that is rod Muppets. Examples of this are Grover, Animal, and Gonzo, and then Elmo and Kermit. They're also rod Muppets, but as you can see, Kermit and Elmo are not on this slide because I can only fit 3 guys. So I decided to go with Animal. I like Animal. Woman! 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 Grover and Gonzo here. So, again, rod Muppets, they're pretty simple. Rod Muppets, they have a rod in their hand, or that's stuck on their hand, and then that's how you're able to move their arm. And then, of course, same, you'll have your one hand that's in the puppet's hand, or that operates the puppet's mouth, and you'll have and then you'll have the rod as well. I wish I had my puppets out, that way I could give out a better demonstration on how to work a rod Muppet, but I think you guys get the point. Rod Muppets, there's a rod that usually goes in here, and and that's how you control their arm. And I don't know if somebody else will control this arm as well, but I'm pretty sure you'll be able to control both just fine. And then but yeah, that's how rod Muppets are performed. You basically just control the Muppet, its mouth, and then you control one of the arms by putting a rod in their arm. And I don't know if it hurts a puppet. I mean, puppets kind of have feelings.